Hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine, and I hope that you are too. Hey, hello, 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 and how are you? I'm fine. Look at the moon, y'all. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to my live stream. How are you, How is everyone doing? I'm well. I'm not having a bad day at all. I really don't have any complaints. So today's live. Well, Today, I already said it earlier. Today is. Capitalize the R in red. Okay. Good job. I went live earlier, and today is Tuesday, October 12th, 2024, and it is 5:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Are you touch? I'm adding a poll that you guys can participate with. Starved. All right, so today's live stream about being touch starved. So I didn't even know this was like a real term, but I knew it was a term, but I couldn't figure out the real term. So months ago, I was thinking about how I feel like I'm touch starved, right? We'll get into that later. But what made me want to go live about this today is I saw a I want to say it was a video on Instagram. If I remember, I'll attach it to this live stream, like link it. But I saw an Instagram video of a woman crying. It's very sad. I think the caption was 30. I think somebody took her video and captioned it, and they titled it 30-year-old woman cries because she's single and something, something, something. I can't think of it right now. But she was just talking about how she's touch starved. Like she doesn't get any affection, any touch. And she was really crying, and it was really sad. And she was just rubbing her body or her arms and showing that she had to rub herself to make her feel like she's being touched by somebody else. And it was really sad. And I feel like a lot of men are bashing her in a way, like making fun of her, like, oh, that's what y'all get for being so independent. Yeah, the caption was saying something about being independent woman is crying about being touch starved. And it's really sad when some of these men who are disgusting, in my opinion, are making fun of women who are venting about being single and the struggles of being single. Everyone doesn't choose to be single, and it's not a funny situation. Anyway, so she was crying about being touch starved. I am going to read the definition of touch starved if no one is familiar with that term. But it's a real thing out here. There's people who are very lonely and they feel like they're not getting any touch, any affection. And it's not necessarily sexual. It's just getting a hug, getting a warm embrace, something to make you feel like you're alive and that you're cared for. That's touch starved, but I'm going to read the definition. Dale Daniel says, what shoes are you wearing? That's off topic. I'm trying my best to keep my lives on topic. You're not on topic, so I'm gonna ignore that part. Musty says hello. I am ready to marry you says hello. How are you? I'm well, thank you. Irish says hello. Extron says hi. So I'm gonna read the definition of touch starved for some of you who don't know what I'm talking about. So really quickly, it says touch starved is a term used to describe the desire for physical contact from other living things. It can also be called touch deprivation or skin hunger. It can occur when someone experiences little to no physical contact for an extended period of time. Jay plays says hello. Extron says I'm 10. Okay. Let's see here. Things I wanted to show you says, okay, let's touch each other. If you touch somebody, it's got to be consensual. People have to be okay with you touching them. So all touch needs to be consensual. You have to ask the person and they have to say yes for you to touch them, okay? Saudi Sugar Daddy says, okay, I'm not going to read what you said. I think some of y'all want attention. I'm not going to give it. I'm trying to keep the lives more focused on my topic. Some people are coming in here just to be off topic and random. I get it. Some people are bored and whatever else, but I'm ready to marry you says, can I see you? No, you cannot see me. Adrian says, hello. Nobody came in. Hi, nobody. Nobody says, step it up in here. Double tap your screen to like. It's free. Like, subscribe. We are. Thank you so much, nobody. I appreciate you. Let me pin your message. Boneless fishes. Okay, I'm not going to answer that. Extron says you earned an extra sub. Thank you for subscribing. So what does it mean to be touch starved? Okay, that is a moon. King alert. Yes, that's a moon. Isn't it beautiful? Let me zoom in so you can see it better. But that is the moon, everybody. That is the moon. Nature is so beautiful. Hold on, I'm trying to zoom, but okay, that's the most I can zoom. But that is the moon. That is the moon, everybody. Hold on. No disrespect to anybody for their sexuality, whether you think they're gay or straight. No disrespect to anybody in here. You will be put in timeout and eventually you will be removed from the chat. Please be respectful. King's Alert said I saw earlier through my telescope, and now it's 10:13 p.m. Cool. So touch starved. It says, what does it mean to be touch starved? This article is from Jennifer Littner. She has a PhD, and it's from Healthline. So this is the article I'm going to read. All right. What is it? Humans are wired to be touched from birth until the day we die. Our need for physical contact remains. Being touch starved, also known as skin hunger or touch deprivation, occurs when a person experiences little to no touch from other living things. So next part says, wait, that's a real thing? Indeed, the condition seems to be more common in countries that are becoming increasingly touch averse. For example, a 2015 study measured to what degree people welcomed touch in 5 countries. Finland and France were found to be at the top, while the United Kingdom was at the bottom. Why cultures vary in their acceptance of touch, no one is sure. It may be due to the rise in technology use, as a fear of touching being viewed as inappropriate, or cultural factors. But research from 2014 has found that missing out on regular human touch can have some serious and long-lasting effects. Do you guys agree with what I'm reading so far? I do have a Twitter, but I'm not really on there like that. I want to marry you. Touch starved is basically someone feeling they're not getting enough physical touch from a living thing. So that could be from a person or animal, just like a hug or affection. That's touch starved or touch deprived, okay? So human touch. Humans are here to connect and to touch each other eventually. Appropriate touch, obviously. So that's touch starved. Like you're hungry for touch. You're not getting enough touches. You haven't got enough touches or hugs. I'm not going to finish reading that article, but I'll try to find some more examples. So basically, touch starve is a condition that happens when you don't get as much physical touch as you're used to, or any at all. So I don't know if you guys know, there was a study that was done a long time ago on monkeys. On a monkey. And so basically they had a monkey in a room, and they had like the monkey, there was 2 things in the room with the monkey. A very soft toy, I can't explain what it was, I can't think of it. A very soft, furry, fluffy toy. and then it was another hard one, right? So the monkey gravitated to the soft one because it was more, you know, soft. No one wants to touch something that's cold and hard and it doesn't feel comfortable. So the monkey gravitated towards the soft one, and it just goes to show how we all react to touch. We like softness. We like feeling loved on. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the USA, Extron. So yeah, so I'm going to read to you a few. WebMD also did something on it. Touch starvation, what to know. What is touch starvation? Touch starvation is a condition that happens when you don't get as much physical touch as you used to or any at all. You crave contact but can't interact with others for some reason. It is also known as touch deprivation or skin hunger. People may develop touch starvation because of social distancing during the COVID-19 pandemic, but it can happen with any lack of physical touch, such as children in orphanages and elderly people in hospitals who don't get enough positive contact. Why touch is important. Human touch is a huge part of how we interact with others. We shake our coworkers' hands, hug our loved ones, and high five our friends. We bond through physical touch. Skin is the largest organ in your body and sends good and bad touch sensations to your brain. When you engage in pleasant touch like a hug, your brain releases a hormone called oxytocin. This makes you feel good and firms up emotional and social bonds while lowering anxiety and fear. This reaction begins at birth. When babies are born, doctors suggest that mothers hold and comfort them, often to promote healthy development. This human-to-human interaction keeps up throughout our lives, even in adulthood. Human touch helps regulate sleep and digestion and build your immune system and fight infections. Let me see if anybody's saying anything here. Americans are very touchy. I don't think there's other cultures like the Hispanic culture. I know that they're very touchy. It's different cultures that's touchy. I don't think Americans are actually very touchy. Effects of touch starvation. Effects of touch starvation. When you don't get enough physical touch, you can become stressed, anxious, or depressed. As a response to stress, your body makes a hormone called cortisol. This can cause your heart rate, blood pressure, muscle tension, and breathing rate to go up, with bad effects for your immune and digestive systems. These things can lead to worse quality of sleep and a higher risk of infections. Other medical conditions, including diabetes, asthma, and high blood pressure, may get worse. Long-term touch starvation could even trigger post-traumatic stress disorder. How to fight touch starvation. Hello, Extron. You're in. Okay. I'll let you know if I need a ride, sir. I don't think I need one. There are ways to fight the effects of touch starvation, even when you can't physically interact with other people. Video chat. They don't fully replace human touch, but video calls let us visually interact with others. They may ease some of the symptoms of touch starvation. Online exercise. Yoga or workout classes online help you interact in a social setting, creating a friendly environment so you feel less lonely. Singing and dancing. Activities like these can boost your oxytocin levels even when you can't see people. Interacting with pets. Though they're not human, playing with your pet can help you stay relaxed because it's a form of interaction. It could ease some touch starvation symptoms. Studies show that oxytocin levels peak in dog owners when they caress their pets. Okay, so touch starvation is real. There are many people who live alone, or they live away from their family, or they don't have any loved ones, they don't have any friends, anyone, and they're just alone and they're not touching anyone on a regular basis. Appropriate touch is very important for humans. We're so many of us on earth to interact. to touch, love, and hug each other. And some people are not in a situation where they can touch and hug. So the video that I saw earlier on Instagram, when I feel like basically men were making fun of a single woman who was crying on video, being very vulnerable, saying that she doesn't get touched, she doesn't get hugs, and it's really hard. And I really wish I had the video to play right now. And it's a real thing out here. It's nothing to make fun of. Anybody can be in a situation where you don't have anybody. Just because you have a spouse now or you have a significant other now doesn't mean it's going to last forever. At some point, you might get lonely, and you need to learn to be okay alone. But being touch starved doesn't have to happen even if you're single. You know, find a friend that's okay with giving you appropriate hugs and touch. Get massages. Sign up for a massage. And I've heard like there's like a hug. Like there's people that go around and do like a free hugs type of thing. There's a lot of people who are okay with giving you hugs. Go to, if you're religious, go to church, and maybe the people in the congregation can give you a hug. But there are ways around it. But some people don't want just anyone touching them. Energy is very important. I don't want anyone just hugging me. It has to be a person who I am okay with, and you know what I mean? So touch starve is tough, especially when you're very particular about who touches you. There's some people who don't care who touches them, who gives them affection. I'm very particular, and I can't just have anybody touching on me, right? So some people would rather feel the starvation than to just go to anyone, because you want to make sure that it's genuine. You want to make sure that who's giving you relief and touch is genuine, is a good person, and is not going to use that against you or try to take advantage of you. And it needs to make sure it's appropriate, and it doesn't need to be sexual in nature. But so far, 11 of you have answered the question, are you touch starved? 55% of you said yes. 45% of you said no. Does anyone want to share your experience with being touch starved? Extron says, what country are you in? I think I answered that. I'm in the USA. The moon is beautiful. It actually looks bigger in person. I don't know why it looks so far away for you guys. Hold on. I don't know. I'm going to light my little candle. Turn off the lights and light a candle. But touch starvation is real, and thankfully I have my children to give me hugs, and I can touch my children. They're here. But there's some people who don't have children. They don't have family. They don't have friends. They don't have anyone that they feel comfortable touching appropriately. So that's tough. Some people want a romantic touch, and that's tough too. You don't want to just run into the arms of random people. You want to make sure that it's a mutual, loving, even exchange. So touch starve is not for the weak. You have to be very strong to survive it, because as humans, we're born to touch. We're born to want affection. Babies will literally die if they don't get enough touch and affection. They're wired to want touch and affection, so it's very important. So it doesn't just end when you're infancy or childhood. Touch is important for children, for teenagers, for adults, for seniors, whatever your age is. There's some people who you can't just touch because they can be very inappropriate. Like I said before, it has to be very appropriate, consensual touch. Saudi Sugar Daddy says, are you religious Christian? No, I'm not. Sugars, they can't touch the what? What are you talking about? What is that? They can touch the bricks. You gotta be nice, Saudi. It's just the police doing whatever they're doing. There's no crime where I'm at right now, but I have no clue what's going on. It could be anything. I'll be right back. Let me go get my jacket. Saudi says, "What is your punishment of rapists in your country?" It depends. It definitely depends, but prison time. Some people get less prison time than others. It depends on the state. You know, the United States has several states, 50 states, so every state has a different punishment, so it definitely depends. But it's going to be years in prison. I just don't know how long. It depends on if it's their first offense and the age of the people, I guess. Yeah, I think there's some states who do have death, but I'm not sure. Um, it depends on the state. Hi, Mr. Hater. So for those of you who are touch starved, what do you do to help yourself, you know, with in the touch department? If you're getting lack of touch and affection, what do you do to help yourself? But yeah, back to you, Saudi. The crime for rape in America can go from a fine to life in prison. So it definitely depends on the states and the person, a lot of factors. But it should be more than a fine for a rapist. But you'll see some people get away with it more than others. It depends on how much money they have and the attorney. Like, a lot of it just depends. If the victim is like a minor, they would probably get a hefty, more serious crime. I mean, punishment. But that's not what the topic is today, Saudi. So can you focus on the topic? Let me know. Oh, you said you cry about it? Okay. But does crying really help you, though? If you need relief in the touch department, do you not have family and friends? Are you around anybody? Hey, Embracing Life. So we're talking about, are you touch starved? So I saw a video, Embracing Life, earlier. I think I shared it on my Instagram, so you may have seen it or maybe not. I'm going to try to link to the video in the description. So a woman, looked like some guy, a passport bro or a podcast bro, shared her video and captioned it, "Independent woman cries about being touch starved." And she was really crying, Bethany, about not having a lack of affection, having lack of affection, not getting any touch, not getting affection. And she was really in tears, like, it's hard and it's very stressful. And I feel her, people don't talk about stuff like that. That's a very vulnerable thing to talk about. So I have to give her props for being honest, but people don't care online. They don't care why you're crying. What's the reason? If they are not a nice person. They're gonna make fun of you. So if you're gonna be vulnerable on the internet, you have to be prepared for it. You gotta have a thick skin and prepared that everybody's not gonna accept your tears. Everybody's not gonna accept you being vulnerable. Everybody's not gonna want to hear your story. So yeah, she was crying about just not getting touched, and she was saying that she literally had to put her arms around herself to rub her own arms, embracing life, just to feel like somebody is hugging her. And that is one of the solutions you could do, to at least temporarily, if you are not getting hugs and touches, yeah, touch yourself, rub on yourself, get a massage, get a professional massage. Maybe get into a contact sport that you can interact with people. If you're religious, go to church, and a lot of times churches they will hug their members. So it's different ways to get it, but you want to make sure you're doing it appropriately. Make sure that people don't have ulterior motives, and if you're just looking for a non-sexual touch, make sure that's clear, because some people want to take it to another level, if you know what I mean. Embracing life said being a strong woman is so damn hard. It's hard. And just like she was being vulnerable, crying, and this caption it talking about something. That's all these men are talking about nowadays. Well, that's what you get for being independent. You want to be independent so bad. You say you don't need a man, so this is what you get. Is that your solution for that? People have been through trauma, and all they want to think about is you wanted to be an independent woman. You want to be single. You said you don't need us. It's just some people who are just so heartless. You hear me? Just so heartless. And some people don't deserve your tears. And I feel for her that she even shed a tear online. A lot of men nowadays seem to write out, hey, I agree. Like, I shared a video recently about another guy. What was he saying? This is kind of off topic, but he was talking about women with weaves and wigs and lashes and whatever. Okay, I get that you like a natural woman, but he's basically saying, like, it's almost like he was jealous that she was. I don't know. It is weird. It's weird. Some of the choices some of the things men choose to engage in about women. Sometimes to me is not men's business. There's so many things men could be fighting for, rights and freedom, all this stuff, but they're focused on women and policing women. It's like, I think some of these weak men know they can't fight other men, or they can't keep up with the system, and so they fight women. Some of these men feel inferior to the government or to the system or whatever their job, and so they take it out on women. Go fight the power. Go fight injustice. Stop fighting women. It's a sickness at this point. Embracing life says a lot of, you already read that. Yeah, a lot of men don't like their mothers, was neglected or abused by their mom. I don't know what it is with some of these guys, and they take it out on other women. There's some men who just need serious help, and they don't deserve. And there are men who literally will just get in sexual contact with women, but they don't really love women. Ladies, make sure the men that you're involved with actually likes women. Just because a man is having sexual activities with you doesn't mean he actually cares about you as a human being, as a woman. I'm telling you, like, you gotta really. Oh, the moon is. Oh, I was trying to catch the moon still. The moon looks so much bigger in person, everybody. I'm trying to catch it, but I can't catch it. There's some men that really just need help, because it's almost like they're jealous of women for being able to be vulnerable and to cry, and they want to cry and be vulnerable, they can't. Like, I don't know what it is, but making fun of somebody because they're crying about not having affection or touch is really mean. You don't know what that person's been through. You don't know their childhood trauma, that where all of this started from, where all this came from. The woman in the video who was crying about being touch starved, I'm sure she has some childhood issues that went on. You know, if she was getting the right amount of affection from her family and people who were supposed to have cared about her, I don't think she would be online crying about that. People are just so insensitive. Very insensitive. But anybody want to share their stories of whether you're touch starved or not touch starved? What's your experience with touch? Have you felt like you've always been satisfied in that department? I have not. I have received inappropriate touches at times in my life. And there's been times where I choose not to be touched because I don't want the wrong kind of touch. And as a single woman, sometimes you have to choose to be alone and to not be touched just so you won't get the wrong kind of energy around you. You know, wait for the right kind of touch is worth it. Waiting for the right kind of touch is worth it, but it can be hard and frustrating. That's why self-care, self-love is very important. Hugging yourself, um, getting massages, you know, getting baths, bubble baths, whatever makes your skin feel good. Spirituality says they want to treat women like second-class citizens. I agree. It's so much I could talk about. I'm not trying to bash men or anything. I never want to do that. But I see a lot of men bashing women online and being so insensitive to women. The same women that you go to for your sexual pleasures, the same women you go to for birthing your children, the same women you go to for cooking your food, cleaning your home. And yeah, there's men who's going to say, I'm independent. I don't need a woman. I could do this, rah, rah, rah. Great. Then leave women alone. If you don't need women for none of these things, why are you going online just dragging women like that? Why do you hate women so much? Why are women always the subject of topic? If you're such high value men and you're so great, let these women come to you. You don't need to like be so extra. I don't want to get off topic, but like I said, that video really made me sad to see that men are posting it around as if it's something to laugh at. It's not. Being touch starved is nothing to laugh at, and people don't understand until they have to go through it. Until you are walking in the shoes. Anybody could be single at any point. If you are married right now, if you have a partner right now, your partner could unfortunately pass away. Your partner could choose one day to say, you know what, I don't want to be with you no more. And you can be in a situation of being touch starved. And yes, you can find another partner anywhere. But how good of a quality of a partner are you going to find really fast? To find a really good partner, it does take time. So and no one is immune to being touch starved. So it's not something to make fun of. It's not something to laugh at. David Ray's okay. I'm about to put you in timeout, David. Get appropriate, please. Stay on topic, David. If you want to be in the chat, David, be appropriate and be on topic. Sugar Saudi Baby says, but isn't that women also do online? What do women do? I'm not saying there's not women who don't talk about men. But I see a lot more men talking about women and just the hates. I don't think women really hate men. They're frustrated with men. I'm seeing hate coming from men. And if you don't agree with that, I get it. Embracing Life says, I think being touch starved for most basically because of a wall of a person put up because they have been improperly touched. And the truth is no matter how much we love ourselves, we want to have experience of a good loving relationship, even if we just some of the time. I agree. Like I was saying earlier, like, I thankfully to my children, I get my touches from them. They're hugging children. They like to hug. I always ask my children for a hug. Can I get a hug? And I teach them to ask for hugs too, because somebody might not be in the right mood for a hug. You know, just because you're a parent doesn't mean you always want to be touched. And some parents get touched out where their children are constantly touching them, and you get touched out. It's too much. Sometimes people are touched too much, and it's too much. It's overstimulating. Saudi says, I think that's due to social media algorithm. What do you mean? What's due to oh yeah, you're right. You know, the online, drama sells. You know what I'm saying? So yes, you're gonna see the negativity more than you see positivity. If you watch the news and you believe everything on the news, you would think that the world is really truly a horrible place. But there is some goodness in the world, but some people make it seem so bad. Spirituality says they don't know how to be affectionate as it's all about them too. So yeah, there are some people who are very selfish, and don't surround yourself with selfish people like that. Once you see a person is cold and don't want to touch, that's not a person you want to, you know what I'm saying, get involved with. Obviously, if it's your family members and you care about them, that's just how they are, right? Some people don't want to be touched. Some people don't want to be hugged. But know that it's not normal. It's not normal to not want to touch infection. Something is going on there. It's normal for humans to want to be touched. It's very much normal. And that's why touch starvation is a thing. Like the article said that I was reading, your skin is the largest organ on your body. It's a really a big organ. So it needs a lot of attention. And if you're not going to get the right touch from others, touch yourself, okay? And I'm not talking about inappropriately necessarily, but just give yourself a hug, like the woman in the video I was telling you about. She put your arms around yourself, give yourself a hug. Self massages is good too. I get massages regularly now. I try to get massages at least once per month, and it's so beneficial. So even though I would love on a regular basis touch situation, is not available to me, so I had to make do with what I have. But it's very important to not don't put yourself down for wanting a normal thing that humans want, touch and affection. It's normal. Don't let nobody make you feel bad because you want touch and affection. Don't let anybody make you feel bad because you had bad experiences with past lovers or partners or friends or whatever. People come and go all the time. That doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It just wasn't meant to be. So don't let any of these online podcasts and these women hating men or whoever, women hating women too, make you feel bad about yourself for being human, for vocalizing your feelings and what your needs and what you want. More people need to talk about it. There are a lot of people who suffer in silence. And so I just had to talk about this because I have moments of being touch starved. That's real talk right there. But thankfully I do have my children where we give each other hugs, but there's some people who don't have anyone around them, and so it's really hard, you know. Spirituality says don't ever rely on others to have self-worth. You are valuable and I 100%, so true. Let me pin that. You really can't rely on other people. You have to know your own value. People can be very cheap with money, with you, with things. So if you accept breadcrumbs or just crumbs in general from somebody, they're going to keep giving you crumbs. Raise the stakes. Let them know, no, this is how I want to be treated. This is how I want to be touched. This is how I want to be talked to. If you accept the bare minimum from people, they're going to continue to give you the bare minimum. So make them know from the beginning, from the start, whatever relationship it is, romantic, friendly, business, let them know how you want to be treated. It will set the tone for the entire relationship, whether it's business or personal. Let me see if I can find anything else about I'm going to try to find that video, y'all, about the touch starve situation. Let me see if I can find the video, because I feel like it's not really doing justice. It's on my other phone that's you guys are looking at through right now. Let me see if I can find it on Instagram. Touch starved. Let me see. Instagram. I want to find that lady. I'm mad I can't find the video. I don't feel like downloading the app. I might be able to find it on YouTube. Hold on, y'all. Welcome back, Extron. Spirituality says if you have to explain how to be loved, then you are not capable of love. Yeah. Wait, if you have to explain how to be loved? What do you mean by that? What do you mean? If you have to explain how to be loved, then, oh, they are not capable. Okay, I got it. But you know what? Some people honestly are just need a little education. There's some people who really don't value you. They don't care about you. There's some people who may not understand your love language, how you want to be touched. And sometimes you do need to give somebody like a little reminder, like, hey, this is not how I, like it. This is how I like it. And then after that, if they still dismiss you and they're still not giving it to you, then yeah, definitely move on. But it doesn't hurt to let people know how you want to be treated or what you expect. There's some people, for whatever reason, they could have a disability or whatever, I don't know, some type of issue that they can't see exactly what you're asking. You got to really explain it to them better. But it's only so much explaining you can do. Like, Google is everywhere. People can Google it, look it up. They don't have to rely on you. I'm trying to find that video and I cannot find it. Tag on it, man. It was so sad too. And I can't get off. I don't want to get off my phone that I'm going live with because it will end this. Let me see how this video is right now. Okay, let me play a little short for you guys.
Do you often feel a strong longing for physical affection? Touch starvation, also known as skin hunger, is a real phenomenon that can affect anyone. You're not just being needy. Are you constantly feeling lonely and disconnected from others? Even when you're surrounded by friends and family, this could be an indication that you're experiencing touch starvation. Human touch is an incredibly powerful way to create connections and build a sense of belonging. The absence of physical affection, such as hugs or gentle touches, can intensify feelings of isolation and make it difficult to feel emotionally connected to those around you. Do you react intensely to casual physical contact, such as a hug or a pat on the back? Picture yourself at a social gathering, observing friends and acquaintances, casually engaging in friendly touches. Do you find yourself experiencing a sudden surge of emotions or an overwhelming desire to be included in these interactions? Remember, you're not alone in craving touch. It's a natural human need. You can reach out to your loved ones for more physical connection and consider activities like dance classes or massages. Thank you for being here. Do you often feel
okay? So that was from the channel called Psych to Go. Okay, this is the channel. I'm gonna give them full credit. Psych to Go. Extron says I got bullied. That's really sad to hear. Hope you're okay now. Spirituality says some people just take and never give. You're right, and you got to know when to pull back and not give anymore. It's supposed to be even exchange. Chemo says whenever I feel alone, I sit by my window, look out at the trees and plants in my garden, and appreciate our codependent relationship for oxygen, carbon dioxide, and feel okay again. 6 years single. Shout out to you, Chemo. I've been single for that long as well, I believe. How long has it been? It's been a minute, y'all. I don't want to get into it, but it's been a while, okay? Spirituality says don't keep giving when you are not receiving. Yeah, for real. Chemo said that sound heavenly. Yeah, that does really sound nice. I love that you're aware, Chemo, and you take things into your own hands. You don't just sit there. You appreciate, you're showing gratitude. If you guys don't already know, I know Embracing Life knows November is National Gratitude Month. So I love, Chemo, that you show gratitude to nature, to earth, and it looks like you have come to be okay with being single. It's not always easy, it's not always like fun, but there is peace from being single. There is peace. Wait for the right kind of touch, because some people's touch are chilling and not comforting at all. The moon is mooning tonight, y'all. The moon is mooning. Look at it. Look at the moon, y'all. I love it. I just love nature. It's kind of like hiding behind the tree a little bit. Chemo says it's normal, an ego thing, thinking we need someone to make us feel certain when we are the happiest we seek all along. For real talk, Chemo. Real talk. But it is important to stay in touch with people. Find good people to surround yourself with. Isolation is good, but I do feel like too much isolation can be negative. And some people just had such bad experience with people that they choose to be isolated. They choose to be by themselves and to be surrounded around bad people. But I have learned that I cannot give up on people in general because of bad experiences. I'm still open to love, affection, and all the good things I feel I deserve. Spirituality says I have no expectations of finding anyone in a loving relationship, and I feel grateful for what I already have. Okay, spirituality, I'm happy for you. Rory Joey says hello from Alaska. Hello. How cold is it in Alaska right now? Probably freezing. Because if it's 50 degrees over here, I can only imagine what Alaska feel like. Hey Siri, what's the temperature right now? It's 46 degrees right now. Oh, it's negative 40 degrees here? I cannot. Hey Siri, what's the weather in Alaska right now? Okay, it says 36 degrees. I cannot. I'm telling you, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do Alaska. Rory Joey said Northern Lights are out. Okay. I never really understand the whole Northern Lights thing. Like, when does it really come out? What part of the countries or Earth doesn't? I've seen pictures of the Northern Lights, but I feel like I always miss it. So far, I asked, are you touch starved? And 48% of you said you are touch starved. 52% of you said you're not. So it's almost even. Stephen Hill says, ask Siri when she was born. Spirituality says it was lovely coming across your channel. Thank you, Spirituality. If you don't mind, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm working on a video still, and I hope it'll be out tomorrow. It's gonna be about childhood abuse survivors, and these are men in their 70s coming out sharing their story, and it's not easy. And I just want to show that no matter what your age, healing is really important, and trauma can truly cripple you in life if you allow it. It wasn't our fault what happened to us, but it is our job to get the right help that we need. Embracing Life says, would love to see the Northern Lights, but not at those temperatures we're experiencing. Yeah, definitely not. Spirituality says, subbed and like, wishing you all the best happiness. Thank you, Spirituality. Bazem Nabil says, there is someone in the woods looking to you. Maybe they are. I don't know. I can't see them. But I love how the moon is really doing its thing tonight. I've never seen the moon right there. Of all the times I went live at night, I haven't seen the moon so bright. It sounds kind of corny, doesn't it? The moon is giving. The moon wants its attention. The moon is definitely not touch starved. Actually, the moon is touch starved because the moon doesn't interact with anything. Unless there's things on the moon. Last time I checked, there's no living thing on the moon, so. Yeah, Spirituality is a very beautiful view. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. I need y'all to see how big it looks. Look how bright that thing is. It's such a big star. Look at the moon. Look at the moon. Look at the moon. Chemo says, indeed, the thing with expectations, though, you often lead to disappointments. If we can realize the richness of any moment is sufficient and start saying with everything we're dealt is just enough. Yeah, I have learned in recent years that expectation it's like you really shouldn't expect anything because it can lead to disappointments and it will make you sad. So just don't expect anything. Like, you really just gotta like hope for the best. Don't expect the worst, just hope for the best. And if it doesn't work out, it's okay. If it works out, great, right? Shout out from Egypt. Chemo says beautiful. Spirituality says the moon is female and the sun is male. Okay. If that's true, I really didn't know that. Chemo says, I have binoculars and on a clear night I can see craters on them. Really? That's cool. Chemo says the moon, not them. Okay. Spirituality says chemo, LOL. I think Saturn is the best. Do y'all know that? Do you guys know the song for all the planets? Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. I learned that from my son. One of his shows that he watches, they sing the planets like that. Bassem Nabil says, where do you think we will rebirth after death? Another life or what? I don't know. I hope that my death is not painful. I hope there's peace afterwards. I have heard from people in this Facebook group that I'm in. They talk about how all the near-death experiences people have talked about how it is peaceful. It is peaceful to almost get to the end. It's like it's a peace that comes over you. And I don't know. Spirituality says, I just hope it's a good thing. I hope that it's good things that come after life after death. I don't know. I hope there will be some justice, some redemption, some clarification, and peace. I don't know. Spirituality says, oh, such a lovely singing voice. Thank you. Jeremy Pad says, your singing voice is nice. Thank you. Chemo says, see, it's our concept and models of mind that have trapped concepts of what we think we are. It's not who we really are. Yeah, a lot of things are perception. You know, our opinion of ourselves come from people we grew up with and that inner voice inside of you. You really do have to ignore the negative parts of it. And if there's negative things about you, what can you do to get better? I think everybody has room for improvement if you really want to. Apple Dapple says, have you heard about Apophis? I have no idea what that is. I have no clue. I'm going to get off soon, everybody. It's getting dark enough. But anybody else want to share your input on being touch starved? Answer the poll or leave a comment in the chat to let me know. Do you suffer from touch deprivation? And if you are, what do you do to get better? What has worked for you? Mink says, I'm scared of death. I just need a love in my life now. I'm tired of being alone, being 2 years since my baby's mother wanted to split up. I don't know why. Minx, I feel you. When my situation didn't work out, it was very sad for me. It took me a long time to be better. But I'm better now. I'm so happy. Like, when I look back, I'm like, girl, you was crying over him? Who was him, girl? Hopefully you feel better soon, Minx, and hopefully somebody will come into your life. And just take the time to work on yourself. Chemo says, sleep well when you do. Good night, Chemo. Thank you for interacting. Spirituality says, stay safe, everyone. Thank you, Spirituality. Minx said, I need a woman's touch again. I'm very loyal. Yeah, it'll come, Minx. You just got to be patient. Work on yourself. Is there anything that you could have done better within a relationship? Is there things that you need to work on within yourself? You know, there's things we can all work on. So make sure you're working on yourself and the right person will come along. Don't rush anything. You don't want to rush into the wrong thing. It looks like you have a child in your profile picture. If you have children, especially, you need to take your time with dating. You don't want to just bring anybody into your life. Some people come into your life with the wrong intentions. They don't really care about your children and they can hurt your children or treat your children bad. You don't want to bring a negative stepchild. I mean, you don't want to bring a negative step parent or significant other vibe into the mix. Put your children first. They are number one. Mink says, I believe it's because I work third shift. Yes, I have 2 kids. Yeah, so even more reason to take your time. Take your time. You have 2 young children who are looking up to you to make good, healthy choices. It didn't work out with your children's mother, but make sure you show them what it's supposed to look like, and don't just get into anything. Don't let loneliness make you give in to anything just to say you have somebody. It's not worth it. Don't get into a toxic situation. Learn and grow. Bink says, I believe it's because I already said that. Embracing life says, good night, chemo. You sleep well as well. Thank you, Embracing Life. Spirituality says, be extra careful when introducing them to anyone. Exactly. I advise not to introduce anybody to your children until at least 6 months or more. And honestly, it's probably better to wait longer. The longest possible. You got to really make sure you're not missing any red flags. Make sure they have good intentions. I highly recommend doing background checks on people at this point. Do a background check, and if you got the money, I don't care. I'm extra hire private investigator, because you got to be right about who you come into your life when you have children. I guess regular single people can just do their regular precautions, but when you have children, you gotta it's not a game out here. It's not a game out here. You got to show your child that you respect yourself and you make good choices. Your choices is going to affect their choices. Mink says, I've been with her since 6th grade. Oh, that's hard. Have you been to therapy yet, Minx? Have you talked to somebody about this? Embracing Life says, I agree. Spirituality with the introduction of anyone to your kids. Yep. Embracing Life says, gotta wait and make sure they are good. Yeah, you gotta wait. I didn't wait before, girl. I made so many poor choices, but I always try the best to have my children's, I try to have them in mind. But, and I said it in one of my other videos, or Eliza, for if you just want some sexual adult time with somebody, do that away from your children. Go to their place or go to a hotel. You don't have to bring everybody around your child. You don't have to bring everybody you smile at, or everybody who winks at you, or everybody who you're holding hands with, or whatever. Everybody doesn't deserve your children. Treat your children like they're royalty, like only the best should come around them, period. Because the choices you make in life, like I said before, is going to affect them. If you're very selective with the people that you put in their life, they're going to be selective as well. And at least we can hope, right? Spirituality is exactly a background check before you let them near your child. I agree. Do it. And then, some people miss background checks. So just because a background check says they're clean as a whistle doesn't mean something wasn't expunged. Doesn't mean that they really didn't commit. There's people who commit crimes every day and they don't get away. And they get away with it. So just because their background check comes back clean doesn't mean they're clean. You still need to do your due diligence, check their references, meet with their family, their friends, really find out who they are. Are they who they say they are? What are their motives? Are they really eager to see your children and not really putting much into the relationship? Like I always say, there are people who seek out single parents, especially single mothers, just to go for the children. So there's people who have their eyes on your child so they can abuse your child, and they use you as a cover. So make sure that they're there for you and not your child. Yes, they need to love your child if you decide to have them in your life, but you just got to be careful. Embracing Life said, too many kids getting hurt by step parents and step siblings is crazy. Yep. Ming says, I never wanted to break up with my family. No, I have had no. You should go to therapy, Mings. I highly suggest it. Look into better health. Look into your insurance. Call 211. Call or text 988, if you don't have insurance. Look into Medicaid. There's so many ways, but don't do this on your own, Mings. Honestly, I highly suggest you get into some therapy to address the issues of the void and childhood things. Get it all out so you can make healthy decisions with your future partners. So important. Ohio Dan says it's being some illegal. I don't know what you're talking about. Spirituality says, why would you bring a stranger into your home with your children? Stranger danger. I agree. Some people are really feeling lonely, and some people want help with their bills, and they want companionship. It's a lot of reasons why, but I'm not willing to jeopardize my children's safety. Like, I already made my mistakes in the past, and I can't do it again. So you live and you learn. Don't punish yourself for making poor choices, because a lot of times we were doing things while we were in survival mode. So don't go hard on yourself for the choices you made. Learn from them. Learn from them. Embracing Life says, make sure you have healed before moving on. I agree, Embrace. Guys, I'm sorry about that. Somebody called me, and I have do not disturb on. I gotta really Google why are calls interrupting my live streams. If you guys know, holla at your girl, let me know. Ming says, oh yeah, of course, but I honestly don't sleep around. I love to have a relationship. No, good. It's not even just sleep around. I mean, just even bringing somebody around your children, because they get caught up with them. So you don't even have to have sex with somebody, but just bringing Sally, Susie, Melissa around. So you don't necessarily have to sleep with nobody. Just having their energy around. Like somebody else has said in my live stream recently, that you do bond with people. There's emotional bonds, not just sexual bonds. So don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't waste your time with people. Spirituality says children are the most precious blessing, so protect them from harm at all costs. 100%. Period. Okay? Let me pin that one. Ming said, it's been 2 years. I'm over here now, but I need a spouse. I'm over her now, but I need a spouse. Why do you need a spouse? What do you mean need? Make sure that you're, there's no voids over there. You know what I'm trying to say? Make sure that you're a whole person, bringing in another whole person. WHOLE, whole person. Make sure that you're whole and you're whole. But yeah, if you're ready, if you feel like you're ready, I still suggest you go speak to somebody, Minx. More men need to focus on their mental health. No offense to you, Minx, but I've noticed that a lot of men are easy to move on. It's quick for them to move on and find the next person. And there's no healing going on. I'm seeing men who are not changing. They're just changing partners. It's not healthy. And there's women who do it too. Trust me, I'm not saying it's just men. Minx says, purpose, I'm a provider. I love to take care of a woman and receive their love as well. That's good, Minx. Well, if you have a good heart and you're, open to compromising and change, and you don't ignore red flags, I say go for it. Try a dating site, whatever. But if you can take the time to get a therapy, you can. You can look for a mate while you're in therapy too. You don't have to do it before, or it could be done during. You are worthy of love. Anybody who has a good heart and good intentions, you are worthy of love. Don't let nobody make you feel that way. So I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression. I'm not telling anybody to not find anybody, because look, I want to be with someone too, right? But I can't just be with anybody, especially, like I said, when you have children. I think about them when I think about dating, and then even just going on dates could be scary, especially for a woman. You may not even have your child around that person, but you get around the wrong person, a stalker or somebody that's mentally unstable, and they could take your life, and then your children are motherless or fatherless. Your children won't have a parent anymore. So even going on dates could be dangerous. Make sure that the person you're going on a date with is worth going on a date, and they're safe, and it's in public. And I highly advise against one night stands and just going back to their place. Like, take it slow. No need to rush. Like, we all know where babies come from. Many of us had sex before. So it's like you're not missing anything. It's going to happen. There's beauty in waiting. Only fools rush in, they say. Ming says, oh, I haven't been with anyone since I was, and I still am hurt, but she didn't even talk to me, so I'm ready to move on. That's okay. Well, move on. Yeah. Don't give people the energy that don't deserve it. Spirituality says protect your drink too. Yeah, protect your drink. When you go out, make sure that you're watching your drink the whole time. Make sure you're seeing what's going on in your drink, because you can be dates raped, or they could be some type of drug in your drink. I know we're probably going off topic, but the moral of the story is, even if you're touch starved, don't settle. Don't let your guard down just to have someone around you touching you. You are valuable. Honor your body. Honor yourself. So you can touch yourself if you're touch starved. You can get with family and friends who care about you. You can get massages. Get a hot bubble bath. Go to a hot tub. There's so many different ways that you can get touch without having the wrong ones touch you. But it is very dark and you guys are quiet. So Minx, I hope the best for you. Don't give up. Don't settle. Your children deserve the best, and so do you. I hope everyone has a good night. If you came in the beginning or the middle or the end, I appreciate your support. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I will find that video that I will find the video that inspired this live, and I will link it in the description. I was not able to find it now, but I will pin it in the description so you guys could check out the reel that I shared of the women talking about being, having touch starved. And I want to talk about this some more. This is not the end of touch starved, because I can relate to this situation personally. I will talk about this in another live. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or whenever, but I want to do more research on it and just learn more about it and have more solutions and advice for those of you who feel touch starved, because it's a large population that feel that way. Like the article I read earlier mentioned, there's children in orphanages that don't have any touch. There's elderly people in the senior citizen homes and stuff that don't have touch. There's a lot of people right now listening to me or not listening to me that suffers from being touch starved, and it's a serious problem. It's nothing to make fun of. Emphasize with people. Put yourself in people's shoes. How would you feel if that was you? Some people don't see things from other people's point of view, because it's like, oh, I got a man, or I have a woman, or I have a family, I have this, I have that. I don't have those problems. But you can definitely have those problems one day. No one is immune from anything, period. As long as you're on earth, you're not immune from anything happening. It can come to your door next. So be nice to people, be gentle with people. You're not above anything. Mink says, thank you for your time. Spirituality says you are worth more than you realize. That's so true. Embracing Life says, if you are still hurt, I think you should hold off. It may just be the hurt that's telling you need a spouse. I agree. That's why I really think, Minx, you should go and talk to somebody. Get it out. Scream it out. You have a right to be angry. You hear me? You have a right to be angry. And I'd rather you get it out in a healthy way than to hurt somebody or hurt yourself. Your anger is valid. Somebody breaking your heart is not easy to get through. There's people who take their lives from having a broken heart. And Minx, you're here alive, 2 years strong. You're doing it. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of anybody who can be single and to know that they are worth a lot and know your value. It's easy to settle with somebody. It's easy to just find any random person, like, yeah, I'm going to be with you. I don't care how screwed up you are in the head or how you are as a person. I just want somebody. It's not worth it. I've seen too many women, especially, settle with men just to say they have a man. And the man could care less about you. There's no affection going on. There's no love going on. Like, there's people literally sleeping in different rooms in the home, and that's supposed to be their partner in life. I don't want it. Do you hear me? If we're choosing to live separately in the same home, you're not for me, baby. Because I want my spouse to be all over me, all on top of me, and vice versa. Like, I want a loving situation. Everybody needs space and a break. But if you are daily living with your partner and there's no love, there's no affection, there's no care, there's no concern, what is that? It's dead. It's dead. And don't give life to the dead, y'all. Spirituality says, stay safe, everyone. Embracing Life said, hold your head up, Minx. Have a good night, everybody. Yes, everybody have a good night. Spirituality says, never settle for a second best. 100%. Let me talk about the poll real fast and end it. So I asked, are you touch starved? And 48% of you said yes. And 52% of you said no. So if you're touch starved, I hope you listen to what I said and Google the term touch starved and learn about, everything about it. Learn about solutions. Thank you, Embracing Life, for being my moderator. Thank you, Spirituality, for your input. Thank you, Minx. Ming says, yes, not gonna lie, I've contemplated hurting myself before, and I'm shy. It's hard for me to meet women. Seems like only women are attracted. But Minx, we're not gonna do that. I feel you, but we have children, right? They will never get over us taking our life. Minx, I can feel you deeply, okay? There's so many things I could talk about, but I try not to get too dark on here. But our children will be devastated if we did anything that would take us away from them. Don't let nobody take you away from your children, and you don't take yourself away from them. No matter how lonely and sad it gets, hug on them and just think positive. One day things will turn around. You're not going to be lonely forever. And even if you are lonely forever, is it the worst thing in the world? Is it really the worst thing in the world? It's not. Being in an unhappy relationship is the worst thing in the world. Spirituality says virtual hugs to you. Thank you, Spirituality. Ming says thank you, embracing life. You too. Ming says absolutely. That's why I couldn't. Yes, and I'm proud of you. And again, if anybody is having any suicidal thoughts or going through a crisis, please call or text 988. Please call or text 988. So I'm gonna come off now. Shout out to you all for supporting me. I appreciate you so much, more than you know. I'll go live again tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll try my best to go live tomorrow. I'm going to try to do sometimes like early morning lives if I could wake up that early. I'm not a morning person, where I'll wake up and go live around 6 a.m., if I can. Because sometimes I'm not able to go live in the afternoon, and I don't really want to always go live in the darkness. So hopefully y'all understand. I appreciate all of your support. It's my second time going live today. Shout out to me. And shout out to you. Please like. Yes, I will say safe spirituality. You too. Thank you. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in another live, in another video, another short, whatever it is. Support my channel. I appreciate you.